Oh, I'm back. So, of course, a lot been going on in the sports world. Today, actually, AJ Brown was traded to the Patriots. Myles Garrett was traded to the Rams. And then I still wanted to make my video on my thoughts about the Thunder losing to the Spurs. So I'm kind of lumping this all together because I don't feel like making three separate videos about everything. So I want to start off first with the Thunder losing to the Spurs real quick. So I've seen this on First Take. A couple people been saying that people hate the Spurs so much they don't want to, but my thoughts on the Spurs losing to the Thunder because I did want the Thunder to win, um, but obviously that didn't happen. So I mean, the truth is this: is that Thunder obviously was undermanned. They was missing their second best player, they third best scorer, and then Chet disappeared. So it's really Shea versus everybody. If you watch the game, you can obviously see that Shea really had to do everything, and they were doubling and triple teaming them, first forcing other people to step up. And some other players did step up. Shout out to everybody else besides Chet. They did what they could given the circumstances. And then going against the Spurs, who's a better team, who fully healthy, because like I said on paper, to me, the Thunders and the Spurs is the best two teams in the league. So it makes sense why they had the two best records in the league because from top to bottom, I feel like they're the best teams. When you look at, because like I always said, the Spurs is stacked. Everybody always talking about Wemby, but they got what is it, three or four of the top five picks. De'Aaron Fox, I think, was with the fourth, fifth, or sixth pick. Harper, I believe, was the fourth pick. Stephen Castle, I believe, was the fourth pick. Um, there's somebody else I'm missing. There's somebody else I'm missing too that was a top six pick. And then obviously Wemby is the number one overall pick. So, they got a team of high draft picks for real. So even though they still are young, but they still are a bunch of high picks and the Spurs really been set up for success for real. And we know that De'Aaron Fox has been in the league for a minute. He's kind of like the veteran for them. So that combined, like you had a complete team going against really one player for real. Because, like I said, the chat was stepped up even halfway. The Thunder could have won this game because this is a game that really the Spurs should have blew them out. I give the Thunder a lot of credit for keeping it close and playing with a lot of heart. Shea made a lot of tough baskets. I get what people saying because I've been a Shea fan. I've been watching him for a minute. He do be flopping sometimes, and he do get some foul calls that be like, "What? How's that a foul?" So he know how to do with James Harden, Dwayne Wade, certain players like it's smart. It's a part of the game. Obviously, you don't like to see it as a fan or if you the another team, but it's still smart basketball. If it's a part of the game, you should utilize it. So you really can't get mad at that. But that game, he really wasn't. He didn't get to the free throw line a lot. He was making some tough shots, and that's why I said is that Shea, just like James Harden to a degree, I feel like James Harden in his heyday was worse than Shea is, but we know James Harden still mastered the stat back. James Harden, all his points is not free throws, just like Shea. They are actually good offensive players. Like all of their shots don't come from free throws, literally. So got to give them credit. So it's like the Spurs should have won this game. Um, like that's all I really should say. Like I don't look at it like a lot of people. Oh, Wemby is the GOAT. Wemby is like Wemby didn't even play that good. Like that's why I be saying is that like that's where people starting to make people hate Wemby because y'all starting to overrate him. Like, come on now, like let him prove himself. Like he don't got no MVP, no ring. Okay, he finally got a defensive player of the year, but like keep calling him the GOAT and all of this is like crazy when he's not dominating. Like people acting like he just dropped 50 and 20 with 18 blocks. Like that's how people be acting like when we playing. Like I don't even think he had 30 points, and I don't even think he. I'm not sure. I'm not even sure he even had 10 rebounds. So it's like, what are y'all talking about? They won that game because what's his name, Julian, I think, or somebody was out there shooting like Steph Curry. Dude was hitting every shot that he took. That's really the reason why they won is because that dude was on fire from 3-point range. And then of course everybody talk about the big block that ended up happening at the end of the game. Them the real reasons. Yes, Wemby did hit two big time threes, like two pull up threes that was clutch. I give him credit for that, but it's not like he the sole reason why they won. Like, I just hate how people overrate Wemby like that. So to me, that should have won. But the Thunder, like everybody been saying, they need to figure this out because now Shea is out here looking like Joker to where it's like his help don't show up. It's just like Jamal Murray for Joker. Like how Jamal Murray never shows up for Joker at all. Like it's like just crazy for real. Because we know that when the Nuggets lost their last game, I think Jamal Murray had like 12 points, and Jamal Murray always be inconsistent, and then Aaron Gordon be injured. So it's really they kind of in the same predicament, funny enough, to where like they players and they team not stepping up for him. In this instant, Jalen Williams stayed injured. He was injured. I think they said he missed like 40 games, so half of the season. And then how are you still injured? Like I don't know what Jalen Williams' injury is, but it's not cool because he letting Shea down. Like he's starting to look injury prone. Like and then when they won the championship, I think last year he even missed some games, if I'm not mistaken. Like I don't remember him playing like a whole season. So it's like he looking injury prone, too young already. So that's going to be a big thing to watch for going forward. And then it's unfortunate because the Thunder then paid everybody already after winning the championship. They're like, oh, we said let me pay everybody, but now it's looking like that might have been a bad idea for real. So you got to watch his injury because it's like, dude, how is you still injured and you already missed half of the season? And then Chet coming up smaller than mini me, like a lot of people talking about trading him for Giannis, which I would get like, cause that actually will be a good trade, and the Bucks should actually think about that. If they trying to get rid of Giannis, you're not gonna get no better trade than that. If the Thunder give you Chet, Jalen Williams, and they got a bunch of draft picks. Give them like 2 future draft picks. Like that's a hell of a trade because Chet and Jalen Williams still young, and then the reason why the Thunder might not do it is because the potential is still there. Yeah, Chet seem to be scared of Wemby, but outside of that, he still is a great player in a great prospect. So you're hoping that he can still develop. But I think that that's why if I was the Bucks, I do it. 'Cause you get 2 young people in the draft pick, you're not gonna get more than that for Giannis. And then for the Thunder, everybody talking about. I haven't really sat and thought if it's even a real good fit for the Thunder for real. With because we know just on 2K terms, that looks like a crazy matchup. Giannis and Shea together. You thinking like, dang, how crazy can that be? But we know that teams that been put together like that and still didn't win. You still need a cohesive team. You still need depth and everything like that. So, but we know the Thunder. One thing about the Thunder is that they GMs is top of the line. Like they the best when it comes to really putting the team together. Like they could Sam Presti, I think that's his name. Throughout history has been good at drafting players for real. So that's what I would really be looking at going forward is because, like I said, they still got a bunch of draft picks. They still got a lot of talent on the team. Because, like I said, everybody else, other players stepped up. I like Isaiah. Start with an H. I can't even think of how I pronounce his last name. They still got AJ. Uh, Dortz is straight as a shooter, as a player. Trying to think, it's somebody else that I'm missing too. But they still got other core players to where like they can make it work for real. If they was to get Giannis, they can definitely plug and play. Because I get what Stephen A was saying is that the main thing is that we know Giannis not gonna come up short like Chet did against Wemby. Giannis is at least gonna play hard, and that's what they really need. And the Giannis have been semi injury prone though. Lately, he's been getting injured, but I don't know how serious that is because I do think a part of it, like they said, especially because I think he could have came back towards the end of the season, but they kind of just said, "Ain't no point, we suck for real." And then Giannis probably not playing because he know the team is bad. Like we know that matters. Like star players and a lot of good players like don't even want to get out there and risk injury or play through injury when they know the team sucks and they not gonna win anyway. So that might be a part of it. But I do think that Thunder, just like the Nuggets, like you can't keep on counting on these players because what a lot of teams do, like the Pistons might end up doing with Jalen Durham, is that they want to give a person a chance. Like maybe he just had a bad series. Maybe he'll figure it out, but when that don't work, then you look bad because you got to strike while the iron is hot because right now it's still that gray area to where it's like, yeah, maybe they just had a bad game, bad season. But that's when it's best to trade him because other teams is thinking like that too. If you take the risk and then that's really like Chet just shows that he's soft and it's just who he is, his trade value gonna go down year by year because let's say they bring him back next year and he choke again in the playoffs or start playing soft. You're not gonna get a Giannis for him. Like like his trade value gonna go down year by year. So it's like it's crazy, but that's really what it's all about is being a GM and a scout and everything is that trying to predict the future, trying to guess what the outcome gonna be with this player or what's gonna happen and taking that risk for real. Because we all know how what happened with the Clippers with Shea, trading Shea. So that's my thoughts on that for real. Football talk. Lastly, because I don't got so I wanted to talk about now AJ Brown to the Patriots. So if you don't know, I am a Patriots fan, have been a Patriots fan. All through the Tom Brady era. I don't have to go through all of that right now, but I am a Patriots fan. So my thoughts on AJ Brown to the Patriots is everybody knew this was coming. There's been a rumor, I think, since around the Super Bowl. So we know it just finally got done, but it's been said that this was gonna happen sooner or later. So it's not really that big of a shocker. All they really did was replace Stephon Diggs. We know that they let Stephon Diggs go. Probably anticipation of getting him. I would have preferred to have Stephon Diggs and AJ Brown. That would have been a nice combination because we know Stephon Diggs can play the slot and AJ Green could have been on the outside. Because just having one number one receiver is not enough because you could take them off the game. So it's good to have multiple good receivers. So I still maybe they bring Stephon Diggs back, and I don't think nobody picked up Stephon Diggs yet. Now that all his court stuff, I know maybe his court stuff was part of the reason why they let him go and no team wanted him, but he did get found, I think, not guilty of that case with his maid or whatever like that. So maybe the Patriots bring him back later on because I think that he could still help. Because right now, all AJ Green really did was replace Stephon Diggs, who's good. I like Stephon Diggs. He's a great player, got great hands. He made some big catches last year, was the Patriots' number one receiver. I know a lot of people felt like AJ Brown, which he probably is. I don't think he maybe be no, AJ Brown probably is younger. Then he might be a little bit better right now, but it's not like the Patriots got Jamar Chase or Justin Jefferson or something like that and replace for Stephon Diggs. They got a slightly better receiver. Because like I said, Stephon Diggs is a great receiver. Every team he went to, he been great. So that's how I really look at it. My thoughts is like I said, I don't see the Patriots definitely, not winning the Super Bowl this year, not even probably making it to the Super Bowl this year for a couple reasons. One, the Super Bowl hangover you've seen with the Chiefs even last year is that it's been an ongoing thing to where usually throughout history, I know the Patriots did it when they lost to the Eagles and came back and won against the Rams the next year. But for the most part, the Super Bowl loser don't never make it back to the Super Bowl or end up having a bad season the year afterwards. It even happened with the no, 'cause the Chiefs. Hold on. The Chiefs. No, yeah, that's right. The Chiefs lost to the Eagles. But then the year when the Eagles lost to the Chiefs, I think the Eagles lost in the first round, I believe, the following year after that. So if you go throughout history, most of the time it's like it's called a Super Bowl hangover. The Super Bowl loser rarely ever gets back to the Super Bowl or even does that well the next season. So I'm predicting that for the Patriots because last year a lot of people, myself included, was shocked that the Patriots made it to the Super Bowl that soon with a young quarterback. Nobody predicted the Patriots to really make it to the Super Bowl. And then their run to the Super Bowl was kind of, even as a fan, kind of fluky. They won. Um, the game against the Texans was a good game. They battled and clawed, but we know that when they went against Denver, Denver was out without their starting quarterback. I think Bo Nix was out from what I remember. So, and then they played bad in the Super Bowl. That's why really it looked like the year was kind of a fluke. It kind of reminded me, I always say this, of how the Heat was against the two times the Heat made the finals, over the past 6 years, to where it's like, really, the Heat made the finals? Jimmy Butler really gonna win the ring? Like, it was really like, like kind of like shocking, and you couldn't really see it for real. And I feel like that kind of way for the Patriots. 'Cause I feel like the Patriots defense is still good. Shout out to the defense because they did show up in the Super Bowl for sure and showed out. It was really the offense, and Drake May struggled and had a terrible game. So, it's a good trade. Like I said, they replaced Stephon Diggs. AJ Brown should be the happiest because now he gonna get all of the targets that he wanted. That was the big complaint, even over winning. So you're gonna be hands down the number one receiver. So you're gonna get all the opportunities in the world. You should easily have a 1,500 yard, 10 touchdown season, or it should be considered a letdown. You got your think he already then got paid with the Eagles a year or two before. So you should be good to go. But yeah, I don't have that many expectations. To me, the height or the ceiling for the Patriots is making the Super Bowl. Because you got to remember the Bills still been winning the division. The Bills still is going to be the favorite to win the division. So it's like the Patriots going to really be fighting for a wild card spot for real. So it kind of is what it is. We'll see how we go. Um yeah, we'll see how I go. But like I said, I don't have that much expectations, if I'm being honest. Going to the Rams, I was shocked once they resigned because I know they was talking about trading Myles Garrett. I think he asked for a trade maybe last year, the year before, but once they signed him to all of that money, people thought that he was staying, but the aspiration was still there. I'm still am kind of shocked, especially to the Rams. Shout out to the Rams. The Rams go all in. If you're a fan of the Rams, you can't say that they don't be trying to win for real. And they gave up Jared Verse, who's a good player. I think he's young too, because I remember him from Madden. He was on my team, but he's a good young pass rusher. He's obviously not Myles Garrett, but he's decent. Then obviously they had to give up a first round pick, which they count on being in the 20s anyway, bare minimum, because the Rams was good this year without Myles Garrett. So you expecting them to definitely be a playoff team. So it's kind of a late first round pick, but we know in the NFL, late first round picks are still valuable for sure. You can still get great players. It's not like the NBA, but I see it 50-50 for both teams. I understand the Browns probably like we not winning the championship. Myles Garrett, I think he is 30 now, or at least 28. He getting up there. And then they like we is kind of just holding them. We might as well try to get as best as we can. Like I said, Jared Verse is a good pass rusher. Then we get stack up our picks. I get it. Then the Rams, of course, we going all in. These Stafford last 1 or 2 years. Let's try to really, go all in. We was right there. Let's try to do it. So I think it's a good trade for both teams. And I think Myles Garrett should be happy, like I said, going from Cleveland to LA, and you go from a team that might not even make the playoffs to going to a team that's a Super Bowl favorite. So Myles Garrett is the real winner in this, followed by the Rams. Then, like I said, the Browns won because they did the best that they could given what they had, like I said. So that's my thoughts on the NFL. So that's my thoughts on the sports talk. Stay tuned for my prediction for the finals, Knicks versus Spurs.